Computer hardware parts and their functions. Power supply unit. The power supply unit, or the PSU, is the part of the computer that receives electricity from the wall outlet. It converts the alternating current from the outlet into the direct current power, which the computer can use. The PSU then distributes this power to all the parts of the computer, like the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and storage devices. Without the PSU, the computer wouldn't be able to turn on or function properly. Motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board in the computer that connects and allows communication between all the internal parts. It holds important components like the CPU, RAM, and the expansion cards. The motherboard also distributes power from the PSU to these components and help them work together. It contains the chipset, which controls the flow of information between the CPU, memory, storage, and the other parts of the computer. CPU. The CPU, or often called the brain of the computer, is responsible for executing instructions and performing calculations. It interprets commands from programs and the operating system. The CPU processes data and controls how the computer runs. It communicates with the memory, storage devices, and other parts of the computer to carry out tasks. The CPU is critical for the speed and overall performance of your computer. RAM. RAM is a temporary memory that stores data the CPU needs while working. When you open a program or file, the CPU loads the data into RAM to access it quickly. The more RAM the computer has, the more programs it can run at once without slowing down, unlike hard drives or SSDs. RAM is much faster but loses its data when the computer is turned off. It allows your computer to work faster and handle multiple tasks at the same time. System fan. The system fan is important for cooling the computer's internal parts. It moves air inside the computer case, pulling in cool air and pushing out hot air. This helps prevent the computer from overheating. Overheating can cause the computer to slow down or even damage the important parts. The system fan ensures that the computer remains at a safe operating temperature. CPU fan. The CPU fan is specifically designed to cool the CPU. As the CPU works, it generates heat, and the CPU fan helps to lower the temperature by blowing air directly over the processor. Without a good CPU fan, the CPU could overheat, which might lead to slow performance or permanent damage to the processor. Optical disk drive. The optical disk drive, or ODD, is used to read and write data to optical disks like CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs. While optical drives are becoming less common in modern computers, they are still useful for playing movies, installing software, and storing data in disks. The optical disk drive can be used for media playback and sometimes for data backups or transferring files. Video card. The video card, or GPU, is responsible for generating and rendering images and videos for display on your monitor. It processes the visual data from the programs and games and helps display it smoothly. The GPU is especially important for graphic intensive tasks such as gaming, video editing, or 3D rendering. It can either be integrated into the motherboard or installed as a separate expansion card, depending on the computer. LAN card. The LAN card, or Network Interface Card, enables your computer to connect to a network. It allows you to connect to the internet or communicate with other computers in a local area network. There are two main types: wired, or the Ethernet, and the wireless or the Wi-Fi. The LAN card is essential for accessing the internet, downloading data, and sharing files with other devices connected to the same network. Why these components matter? Each part plays a specific role in making the computer work smoothly. If one part fails or isn't functioning correctly, it can affect the entire system's performance. For example, if the power supply doesn't provide enough power, the computer might shut down unexpectedly. Or, if the video card isn't strong enough, games or videos might lag or look blurry. Together, these components create a balanced and efficient machine capable of handling a wide range of tasks.
Step 1. Make sure the system unit is turned off. Step 2. Unplug or remove all cables connected to the system unit. Wear anti-static wrist strap or discharge yourself by holding any metal objects for 5 minutes. Connect anti-static wrist strap to the chassis and tighten or remove the screws of the side cover of the system case. Disconnect or remove all the cables connected to all components inside the system unit. Remove the ODD and CD-ROM. Remove the HDD and tighten the screws mounted to the case, then carefully remove the HDD. Remove the PSU. Remove the motherboard and tighten the screws mounted to the case, then carefully remove the motherboard. Unmount and unplug all the parts along the motherboard, including CPU, CPU heatsink fan, RAM, and video card. Step 1. Mount all the parts along the motherboard, including CPU, CPU heatsink fan, RAM, and video card. Step 2. Install the motherboard. Tighten the screws mounted to the case. Step 3. Install the PSU. Step 4. Install the ODD and CD-ROM. Step 5. Carefully install the HDD. Tighten the screws mounted to the case. Step 6. Connect all the cables to all components inside the system unit. Step 7. Put the side cover back and tighten the screws. Step 8. Connect all the cables to the system unit. Step 9. Test the system unit if it's working well.